Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. Welcome to the car pod, guys. I'm in the car where it is tipping it down with rain here in England. I'm obviously waiting for picking my kids up from school. Been at work all day, been at work this morning, so I need to make a video now, catch up on what's been going on. Well, obviously we'll get to the Europa League draw, very exciting Europa League draw for Rangers, a game that I cannot wait for on the 7th and the 14th of March. I mean, fantastic. Also, guys, today, 23rd of February, the channel is officially 1 year old today. So happy birthday, Glasgow Rangers Nation. You are 1 year old today. Yeah, a year ago today, we started bringing you the latest, greatest Rangers content. So please smash that sub. Well, let's start with some bad news. Now, yesterday I brought you a lot of positive news on the injury front, which is always good. And there was some more positive news on the injury front today, which we'll bring you shortly. But some bad news on the injury front regarding this man. It's very disappointing. Todd Cantwell is going to be out for a couple of weeks. That is what Philippe Clement has said today. Obviously, we saw in the last match day against St Johnstone where he was taken off. And almost immediately, his hamstring was put with an ice pack onto it. Now, Clement didn't really give any more detail other than to say that he will be missing a few weeks, which is worrying. Certainly the sooner we get Todd back, the better, because Todd has been quite influential, well, very influential, I think, over the last few weeks, has performed exceptionally well, has shown some great talent, has really sort of started to look back to his best again, which is, it's really unfortunate that we will be without Todd for these next couple of games at the very least. Philippe did not really say when he would be back. Now, obviously, the pressure, therefore, will fall on to Tom Lawrence possibly to come in and play that 10 role, or even maybe Mohamed Diamande can also play in that 10 role. Although, as was said by Philippe Clement previously, when Diamande did play in that 10 role, that was a little bit further forward than he was used to. So, we may be looking tomorrow at a situation where we have perhaps Diamande alongside John Lundstrom and Tom Lawrence in the 10 role. That could be something, that he would favour. Certainly with Philippe Clement very much looking to be more attacking at home. As he has been in the past, in Aberdeen, he went with Cantwell and Lawrence. So I can see, even though Hearts will pose a test tomorrow, and let's face it, Hearts can be bang up for the game tomorrow. They're going to want to dent our title push. We're top of the league now. We're there to be shot at. Everyone's going to shoot at us even more now than they usually do. I mean, let's face it, Rangers are the team that everybody wants to beat, aren't they? We are the that lot across the city can claim what they want, but at the end of the day, there's one team and one team only in Scotland which teams raise their game for, and that's us. It's not them. At the end of the day, it's us that everyone wants to play. No one likes us. We don't care. So yeah, Hearts will be bang up for it. Yes, they have Shankland, who's in banging form, and Naismith will have them bang up for the game. But with the talent we have, with the power we have, with the focus that we have, we've got to go out and win that game. And it's like Philippe Clement said today, and this was very telling. Again, he talked about the fact that to him, it's all about us. It's all about focusing on what we've got to do. It's about focusing on our hunger, our organisation, on our desire to win, on what we're doing on the pitch. Not to get too focused on, what the opposition are going to do. Yes, he will plan for tomorrow. Yes, of course, the Rangers will be fully prepared for Hearts tomorrow. They will have watched video. They will have listened to tactical talks. They will have done their homework on the opponents. But it is about focusing on us. And I think if you get too preoccupied with what the opposition are going to do, you can sometimes lose what you're going to do yourself. And that's what Philippe Clement, I think, was really getting at when he talked about the focus needing to be on us, needing to be on ourselves, on how we play, on what we do. And I think that's the right way. Even with Cantwell out tomorrow, Lawrence has been really good since he's come back. And, Tom, I think, can fill that 10 role, and do very, very well. And I cannot see why, he can't do it, like I said, or, Mohamed Diamande comes in and plays in that 10 role. I do think we probably will see both Diamande and Lawrence tomorrow. In which combination, I don't know yet. I think that'll be down to the manager. The manager loves to rotate. He loves to change the team. If you had to guess now, and I'll go over this tomorrow on my matchday news video tomorrow morning. But look, I would go with Butland. It's going to be Butland, Tav, probably Goldson. I'd rather play Suter and Balogun. It would be Tav, Goldson, Suter. I think Ridvan's got to play over Barisic. Please play Ridvan over Barisic. He's just a better player. I think you'll go with Lundstrom and Diamande in front of the back four. I think you'll then go McCausland, Lawrence, and I think he'll play Matondo ahead of Cortez tomorrow, and then I think he will go with Dessers up front. As much as I'd rather go with Fabio Silva, I just think he is more of a threat, an all-round threat, and Dessers' misses do worry me. That's what I think the team will be maybe look like tomorrow. But look at the team. There's more than enough talent in that team to overcome Hearts. As good as Hearts are playing at the moment, they are playing well. Don't get me wrong, and they deserve a lot of credit for their run they're on. Their run is very good. They're massively clear of fourth place. They've actually got as many points as Celtic over the recent period of games. And there's even been talk in Edinburgh of Hearts pushing for one of the top 2 places, which is, I think, a little bit ludicrous. But you never know, if that lot across the city implode as they have done a bit this season, anything can happen. And I'd love Hearts to finish second to us, of course I would, and love to see Celtic drop to 3rd or even 4th. Realistically, probably won't happen, but look, it would be great, wouldn't it? Anyway, let's obviously turn to the draw that was taking place in Nyon in Switzerland this morning at 11 a.m. Obviously, we all looked at it, didn't we? And we all had our hopes, we all had our wishes as to who we wanted to play. There was people talking about wanting Marseille to get revenge for 93. There was people wanting Karabag because they thought it might be the easier tie. There was people wanting a glamour tie against AC Milan. There was others wanting Freiburg or maybe hoping for a team like that who would be slightly easier. But you know what? I'm glad we got who we did. Look, I think the way we look at it is this. I mean, here's the draw in full. And I think the way to look at it is this, guys. In Europe, teams will come out and play football. The one thing we were all fed up of in Scotland, I think, is that when teams come to Ibrox and when we play teams and they put 10 men behind the ball, they do all they can to ruin and spoil the game. They do everything they can just to destroy the football match and kick the living daylights out of us and really just become a bunch of animals, a bunch of thugs. But at least, Benfica are a team that are going to come out and they're going to play us. They're going to actually have a game of football against us. And that might actually suit us better, to actually come and play. And we'll get to that tie in a minute. Let's have a quick cast our eye over all these ties in the round of 16. So it's got Sparta Prague versus Liverpool. Obviously, a tough tie for Liverpool there, but I do think Liverpool, who are Premier League leaders, will come through that. Roma Brighton, fascinating. Can Brighton repeat their heroics of the last round, or will the dominant power of AS Roma, even without Jose Mourinho, see their way through into the quarterfinals? Then it is Freiburg against West Ham. Jammy old West Ham, probably getting one of the easier ties there. AC Milan versus Slavia Prague, so no Prague derby in this round. AC Milan against Slavia Prague, that'll be a tough tie for Milan. Slavia, no pushovers. Marseille versus Villarreal, intriguing tie there with the Yellow Submarines going up against Olympique de Marseille without now, obviously, Reina Gattuso. Sporting Lisbon, who are joint top of the Portuguese league with a game in hand against Italian team Atalanta, and the tie at the bottom there, Karabag, drawing the very impressive German machine that is Bayer Leverkusen, who are unbeaten in the Bundesliga and actually have beaten Bayern Munich this season and appear to be cursing Harry Kane to another season without trophies, rather comically. But there you have it there, Benfica versus Rangers. Obviously, the 7th of March, the first tie will be at the Estadio de la Luz, the real Stadium of Light in Lisbon, with the follow-up on the 14th at Ibrox. I think having that second leg at Ibrox is a genuine advantage for us, a real advantage, knowing what you've got to do, having the home crowd behind us. And we know Ibrox is a fearsome European fortress. So it is a great opportunity to get through this tie. And look, yes, Benfica are a good side and it's exciting, isn't it? It's an exciting tie. It's a tie to get your juices flowing, your blood pumping. A real quality tie for me. Benfica will come and they will play football against us. They're not a team that are going to sit back, defend, kick the hell out of us and play that boring football we see against us in Scotland. They've got some decent players. Neres and Angel Di Maria, for example, spring to mind as players, that in that front attacking area. They're a decent side. They've got some good players, but they're not unbeatable. The Portuguese league is arguably very similar in a way to the Scottish league in terms of, the three dominant teams in Portugal, in Sporting, in FC Porto, and in obviously Benfica. In Scotland, obviously, there's only the two in Celtic and Rangers. But look, at the end of the day, this is a tie that we've got to go into with every chance and every hope of winning. Yes, around Europe, yes, other fan bases, and yes, that lot across the city, rather stupidly, when I'll explain why it's stupid in a minute, will be writing us off and saying, I hope they get hammered. But, it's a tie we can win. We overcame Borussia Dortmund that when we in that run to Seville, didn't we? A tie that no one gave us a hope in hell of winning. And we went to the Westfalenstadion and got the win in the Westfalenstadion, one of the most fearsome stadiums in Europe. You know, we went there and got the result. So, look, at the end of the day, there's no reason why Rangers can't get through this round, at the very least, and get on a run to Dublin. You know, this is easily a tie that we can win, a tie that, you know, like I said, they will turn up when they play football against us. And, you know, when we've had ties in Europe against the likes of Real Betis, who've wanted to play football against us, it's actually suited us, and we've actually played really, really well. I mean, obviously, you know, you go to the Betis game. Betis came and they wanted to play football against us at Ibrox. They did it, obviously, away in Seville, and we beat them 3-2 in Seville and 1-0 at home. That would have been a 4-2 aggregate victory. So, look, this is not a tie that is beyond Rangers. This is not a tie that is out of our reach, and having the second leg at Ibrox is a huge advantage. And obviously, as well, with players hopefully returning to fitness. Now, obviously, if Todd Cantwell is missing, that will be a major loss. But even with Todd being out, I think with Tom Lawrence and Mohamed Diamande, we have more than enough talent there to overcome that. I mean, even theoretically, you could probably put Fabio Silva in the 10 role. He would do a decent job there as well. So for me, there's a lot of options there for Philippe Clement, and he has the talent and the players to do it. So look, it's a good tie. Now, the other thing that kind of puts a little bit of pressure on us to get the result in this game is the fact that the Czech teams are fast approaching and fast chasing down the Scottish teams in terms of that European coefficient. Now, as it stands at the moment, and as it will definitely stand for next season at least, the winners of the Scottish League will go directly into the UEFA Champions League group stage, therefore meaning that whoever that is gets £35 million. Now, obviously, if that's us, that will be a very useful sum of money towards team building, and you know, very advantageous indeed to have 35 million pounds coming in to the into the coffers. So look, that's great, that's fantastic. But you know, if Rangers don't get through this next round and the Czech teams continue to do well, there's Victoria Plzeň in the Conference League. The Czech League is only 0.55 on European coefficient behind Scotland. Now, if they were to overtake Scotland, that would take away our second Champions League place and also take away the automatic qualification for the group stage for the Scottish champions. So that in itself would provide a bigger test for us and for whoever wins the Scottish League to get into the UEFA Champions League. So therefore, it makes it a little bit more important that we get through this. And, you know, those Celtic fans who'll be cheering against us against Benfica have to think of it this way. You know what? You're possibly taking away a Champions League place for the future. And if Philippe Clement does what a lot of us think he can do and win back-to-back leagues, you're not getting the Champions League, Celtic, and you're not getting all that money. So you're actually shooting your own self in the foot. So it is a game that we do need to win. Well, guys, we'll be back in the morning with a match day news video. Please obviously come and join us for that. Thank you so much again for choosing to watch Glasgow Rangers Nation. This has been the Car Pod. It's somewhere different, bit CJ Novo-esque, eh? Thank you for watching. Obviously, smash that like, hit the sub, guys. Come and join the channel. Thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. And as always, two things I always ask of you. One, smash the like. And number two, remember always, we are the people.